Hi, I'd like to talk to you just a little bit more on my experience as a mother raising my children without their father being in the home. I like to share some things that hopefully it may help you. It wasn't easy, and I'm sure those who are raising their children without the father know what I'm talking about. Some of the things you have to deal with and challenges that we have to face and go through school, um, families, and life in general. And one of the things that I noticed when raising my children without their father being there, that I noticed that some people tend to treat single mothers a little different versus a husband and wife who are raising their children. And I noticed that dealing with people in the school district area when I had, deal with situations with my children and in the neighborhood. Once, when they knew that the father wasn't present, they tried to treat me a little different. And I felt like I really had to be strong and I had to stand strong and hard for my children to fight for them. And there was one particular situation that I remember happened to me. It was around Halloween, and my daughter had asked to go out earlier with her little friend that she plays with right in the neighborhood to trick or treat at a few houses. And I said, okay, but I gave her a talking to. You don't do this, you don't do that, and you only got X amount of time, and I want you back here. She said, okay. And the young lady she was with was a very good young lady, and they both, I felt, would be fine. So they went out and they came back in, and she told me, she said that they had passed by this one particular house. It was a young lady that my daughter went to school with, but for whatever reason, she didn't like my daughter. They didn't get along. But they went out and came back in and brought, the things and stuff and that they had got from Halloween trick or treating. And she mentioned that the girl had said something to them, that they had did something to their house, that they had put some things in their yard or whatever, and they went back and forth saying that they didn't. So she came on home and they told me about it. And the young lady told her mother about it. And then it wasn't long before a car pulled up, and it was the mother and her daughter. And they were telling me that my daughter and her friend had did something to their yard. And I said, I got the girls, and I said, they told me that your daughter was saying this, but they did not do that. They didn't have any eggs to throw at your house when they left here. And they didn't do that. And she wanted to argue the point, and I wouldn't argue with her. So she mentioned about her husband is going to come over, and he's going to, talk to me and this and that. So I said, that's fine. That's fine. So during the process, when she's saying all this, and the daughter, the young lady that walked with my daughter, her mother came over, and we were all talking about it, and she said to me, would you like for me to go home and get my husband? He will come and talk to them for you. I politely said, thank you, but no thank you. I said, I am the mother and acting father in this house, and I'll take care of it. And so the father did come, and I talked to him, and I told him, I said, listen, my daughter did not even have eggs. I said, I think you need to talk to your daughter. It might have been said because she don't like my daughter. And I said, I don't know, but I know my daughter and this young lady didn't have any eggs to throw at your house. So I said all that to say this here. The lady offered for her husband to come and talk to the man. And not only that, there were other incidents, and I said no, because these are my children and I stand for them. And I participate all I can in school activities and things that they do to make my presence so that they can know that they have a parent that loves them and that care about them, and that you're not going to just walk over my child. I talked to my children and I told them, now don't go out there doing things you know that is not right. And I said, if by any chance something happened, I want you to be honest with me and tell me the truth. I need to know the truth. Even if you've done it, I need to know how to deal with it. I want the truth. So it's not that my kids were just rowdy and run out. No. Mm-mm. And I participated. But that was one of the things that I had to deal with in being a single parent, that I felt like I had to really be strong and stand hard, because I wasn't mean or anything like that. But I just didn't want people to feel like they can just come in and run over my children and me because there wasn't a father in the home. And sometimes I felt like they thought that they could do that. And even with some of their little friends, one of young man who was liking my daughter, he told my daughter, he says, your mom looked mean, and I'm scared to go up in there. She said, because she be mugging all the time. And it wasn't I was mugging, it's just that I didn't play like that. And I meant business, and I tried to do all I could to help my sons and my daughter, to give them the best of life, the best of opportunity in life, because we had a lot to deal with. Sometimes even teachers being negative with the kids. I had a teacher tell my son, if you don't graduate from high school, you'll never be nothing. And he came home and he told me that. And I said, that's a lie. I said, there are a lot of successful people who did not finish high school. I said, but it's a good thing that you do. But don't let no one ever tell you that you can't succeed in life and you can't be this and can't be that. I said, you can be whatever you want to be. All you have to do is put your mind to it and your heart in it and go after it. So I say to the mothers who's doing this and going through, and I understand it's hard because I had to work too. I worked and took care of home, and it wasn't easy. Stand strong, stand tall. It is the love that I had for my children that carried me through. I cared about them and what happened to them. And I did my best. Show love in every way that you can. And I tell you, your kids will never forget it. You may not have had this and the finest this and finest that, but they never forget the love that a mother shows them, the sacrifices that you make for your children. I don't believe it will be forgotten. It hasn't been forgotten for me. But I did it because I love them. So be strong. Don't give up. Things get rough and hard, but look at those babies and know that everything is going to be all right. I prayed a lot and asked God to help me and asked for guidance. Now I have grown children, I have grandchildren, and I have great-grandchildren. And I love kids anyway. I love my grandkids. I love my great-grandkids. So no matter how hard it may be, find a little quiet place to yourself and ask God for health and strength to go through. And I know you can make it. Everything will be all right. You have a good day. And again, I hope I said something that may help you on your journey. God bless.